All right. I hope everyone can hear me well now because our next session will illustrate the role of media intelligence in digital transformation and how to use social media data, AI, marketing personalization, and more to improve customer experience. This session is co-presented to you by Laila Mousa. She's an account executive director, India and Middle East at Meltwater. Laila is a strategy and business development director with 11 years of experience in SaaS business solutions. She's responsible for the trajectory, YOY growth, and market share Meltwater has accumulated over the past 7 years within the GCC countries. Welcome, Laila. She's here. And joining her is Zubair Timol. He's the Vice President EMEA at Meltwater. Zubair is a serial entrepreneur and partner at Meltwater. With his experience focusing on technology, global strategy, and expansion, Zubair has pedigree for developing leadership talent across markets. Welcome to you both, and over to you.
Thank you for the kind introduction, Aziza, and it's a pleasure to welcome everyone. It's my second presentation of the day, having been at Expo 2020 earlier this morning, talking about this very project and development as well. So bismillah, marhaba to everyone. Welcome to Meltwater. Today, we are here talking about digital transformation that's changed the ways that companies make decisions and drive true business growth. We're thrilled to be joining this group as Saudi Arabia and the GCC region have been an important part of Meltwater's story for over a decade. And so I want to briefly tell you a little bit about our journey and how we got here today. Meltwater was founded in Oslo in 2001 as the world's first online media monitoring company. Our vision back then was to help our customers make more informed decisions. And that is still a big part of what we do today, although now it's in a more sophisticated way, bridging media intelligence, social analytics and management, consumer insights, influencer marketing, and media relations all in one place for PR, comms, marketing, and beyond. Throughout our global expansion, we've always had a home in Dubai, where we started in 2009, and have grown our business every year to become one of the largest players in the market. Undoubtedly, one of our biggest successes hasn't necessarily been the business growth, it's also been the development of local leadership talent. And one of them, Laila Mousa, is here today, and I'm incredibly proud of her and many others are contributing towards the growth of the GCC region. As we grew throughout the world, we always kept a local team in each of the markets we work in, and this allows us to think globally and act locally, pairing a world-class product and industry-leading innovation with an eye on the needs of each local market, as well as a local team working with their customers' biggest challenges. This is one of the reasons we've been able to be a trusted partner for many of our customers for more than a decade. Today, we're uniquely positioned to offer solutions for comms, PR, social, and marketing teams all in one platform. We do this by providing industry-leading AI-based analytics and work with more than 27,000 clients. And today, you get to hear how we collaborate with companies and learn about the impact on their businesses. Now that everyone has an update on the history of Meltwater and where we are here today, we can now talk about the understanding of where the industry is headed in the future. Looking back, the world is a very different place today than it was back in 2009 when we first entered the GCC market. As the lines between news and social media continue to blur, we must see beyond these silos and view it all as content and create a strategy accordingly. Today's most successful companies are the ones who capitalize on evolving social media trends and effectively manage presence in the media, be it in the news or on social, with an omni-channel strategy across paid, earned, and owned media. These companies are able to get a 360-degree view on what's going on to impact their brand, their competitors, and their customers. And it's these real-time cross-channel insights that enable better decision-making to drive business growth. We pour significant amounts of money and investment into R&D, and to accelerate innovation, we've also focused on an acquisition strategy. Just this year alone, we have acquired 4 companies who are leaders in their respective spaces: Linkfluence in consumer intelligence, Clear in influencer marketing, and Owler in sales intelligence. By combining their technology, data, and artificial intelligence capabilities with our own, our customers can unlock even more insights to help them grow and succeed. And just this past Friday, if you've been keeping an eye on Meltwater, we've announced our latest acquisition, a company called DeepReason.ai, and it's a product of the world-renowned Oxford University. Today, Meltwater provides an integrated product suite that helps our customers better understand, influence, and engage with their key stakeholders across numerous touchpoints. And we're constantly evolving to meet the needs of PR, comms, and marketing teams with an easy-to-use, all-in-one solution. So in summary, I think it's such an exciting time to be part of this space. I'll now hand over to Laila, who'll talk you through the key elements of digital transformation.
Thanks a lot, Zubair. Thanks a lot for the insights. And now to kickstart things, we have an interesting poll on the left-hand side over here. And we'd like to get your insights on how many companies percentage-wise that they think they've already completed their digital transformation. We'll take a couple of seconds very quickly if we can vote over here. Is it 40%, 35%, or 21%? Yeah. Lots of interesting answers, and actually the number is significantly low. It's around 21% only that have actually completed their digital transformation. And as a starting point for what I would like to cover today, I think it's very important that I take a moment to establish a working definition of what digital transformation is. And for me, Dr. Carl Warner of Glasgow University really captured the essence of it quite accurately. He says digital transformation is an ongoing process of using new digital technologies in everyday organizational life, which recognize agility as the core mechanism for strategic renewal of the business models, collaborative approach, and eventually the culture. So eventually, we're talking about investing in digital tools to help organizations thrive in an information age. And at Meltwater, we've actually identified 6 core areas that can support the pursuit of this endeavor for ourselves. And briefly speaking, these areas are facilitating real-time access to consumer insights, automating the labor-intensive process involving PR and social media marketing reporting, increasing the ROI, which is very important, and through one platform, cultivating agility by equipping executives with comprehensive competitive intelligence, streamlining internal and external digital communication for better stakeholder management and engagement, and finally, assisting corporate decision-making through better access to data. Now, we understand that those are all interlinked, but for the sake of this presentation, we're actually going to discuss them separately. So we're going to start with the mining external data sources and how Meltwater can help. And we know that organizations need to mine editorial and social media to capture and understand relevant consumer insights. By now, it's a common knowledge that both the pandemic has established and the adoption of technology. Global lockdown also saw a significant increase in media consumptions and online engagement across all age groups that do not appear to be slowing down. And if we look at Generation X, for example, increased amount of broadcast television consumptions and online TV by 45% and 35% respectively. They've also upped their interactions with online news by 31% and the likes of YouTube and so on by 35%. And if we look at the younger cohorts, with the GenZ Millennials, they're consuming 44% more online video, 36% more online news, 20% more podcast. So right now, I can attest personally that I've also relied on these channels more and more over the last 12 months and believe that these are the new inherent behaviors that we'll see carried across all the different new generations, such as Gen Z. And we see the online video consumption from Gen Z has had a massive increase of 51%. We've seen the rise of TikTok, Instagram stories, Reels, and so on. But what all this is telling us that people are more active online and across social media. And this presents an unprecedented opportunity for brands to get to know their consumers through online and social media. And with the new looming regulations around third-party cookies, data couldn't come at a better time. And if you don't have done your research yet around Gen Z and all the different generations coming across, you will need to do that as soon as possible. And interestingly enough, also, the Gen Z are the first generation that prioritize purpose over money. So if for them, you have to listen to what they care about and what motivates them to be able to really speak to these new generation that's coming up on a day-to-day basis. And Deloitte actually, sorry, my screen is stuck. Sorry about that. Deloitte has also gone as far as the key indicator of how company might performing post-pandemic is the degree which they embrace digital tools such to run their businesses as well as interact with customers. So with that in mind, I'll briefly touch very quickly on how Meltwater can help in regards to tracking online and digital media from 300 sources around the globe, and in addition, understanding the global footprint from online, print, and broadcast with all our partnership with Zubair have really touched up on earlier, and also the social media. And not only we do have in the most comprehensive reach through a number of strategic AI acquisitions, we also able to provide more detailed and relevant consumers and trend analysis in the industry. Outside of media intelligence, we've also we have our audience insights, which organization in conjunction with IBM Watson allows you to analyze Twitter communities and get detailed demographics and psychographic insights about your communities and decision makers that matter for you. Those data points can be anywhere from age, location, language, media preferences, top interests, online habits, and preferred influencers. So putting everything that we have actually spoken about over here, we're talking about the customer journey, and it all is like and that point, with our API capabilities, you're able to pull Meltwater data into your BI tools, anything like Salesforce or Tableau and so on, and start mapping out the customer journey from awareness to purchase, and also the most important thing is loyalty. And with this sort of integration, that makes really builds executive buy-in into the PR and marketing impact into businesses. And in keeping with the idea of showing ROI, we can actually move into our second point, which is surely the automated reporting. And I know everyone over here spends so much time on doing the manual reporting, and a survey actually by HubSpot mentioned that on average we're actually spending 3.55 hours by collecting, organizing, analyzing marketing data from different sources, which equivalent to around 184 hours per calendar year. This is significantly high. We can spend this time in so much better time and focus on our strategy. In fact, the World Economic Forum have stated that the creative professionals are some of the only field that will stand the rise of the rovers, and we need to do much more right now to ready ourselves and our companies and our children to be creatively focused in the work. And to help businesses nurture the creative talent, they have recommended 3 pivotal areas of investment. And if we look at, namely, we have the workplace tools, we have the education, and we have the investments over here, and which Meltwater really plays a really good pivotal part is the workplace tool over here. And with this, our insights report are an add-on reporting tool which allows our executives to really create your own executive report within a matter of minutes. So this is like an entire automated report that covers your core brand performance metrics. The thinking here is to save PR and marketing a lot of time and make sure it's like you really summarize your PR efforts in an easy and a professional way. With this takes us to actually maximizing the ROI for your digital transformation. And the author and futurists of Narcissus have actually said we're drowning in information. We've all heard that data is the new oil. And I think that's true for so many businesses. We have so many array of tools that spread across all the different departments, across all the different countries. And in this scenario, you run across of creating data fatigue and operational efficiencies. And also, interestingly, we have this like an interesting blog over here. It's like on the left hand side, if you can take a minute, and how long does it take you to return to original task after an interruption, which is really goes into the ROI that we want to save some time. Is it 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or 25 minutes? If we can get a couple of answers, and also maybe later on we can discuss that in more detail, so I can share some of the studies behind that. But it's actually 25 minutes, and it's significant time that gets lost within going from one task to another. With this, Meltwater has over time built up a solution that allows you to manage your earned, paid, shared, and owned media from one platform and one vendor. And the benefit over here that it is a single source of truth. You can actually really sit together with all the different departments, all the different countries, and measure apples to apples, which of course will increase productivity and be far kinder to your budget and ROI figures. Now, next up, we can actually discuss the competitive intelligence, which gives Meltwater clients to keep an eye on what's happening with the key players, but also trends. And in Harvard Business Review, that found 72% of business leaders that their organization will be vulnerable for market disruptions as technology make it easier for new market entries for the market. So meaning we need to make sure it's like we're always keeping an eye not only on competitors but also on industry trend. And in case you need reminding, let's not forget about the BlackBerry cautionary tale. They went from 50 million devices in 2011 to 4 million devices in 2016, primarily because they didn't keep an eye on their competitors and the nature of consumer demands. And this tends to be the biggest blind spot for all the different companies. And in Meltwater, this is what we call outside inside, and what we really help in to elude these digital breadcrumbs can use to inform sales strategies, guide the research development, allow the product development services, steer executive management, and certainly inform our marketing and PR campaigns. And then I think it's like we have two more points that we would like to discuss very quickly. One of them is optimizing digital communications both externally and internally from our side. So if we look over here, according to an European Communication Monitor, building and maintaining trust ranks as the most important strategic issues for communication management until 2023. And with Meltwater's solution, it is geared towards keeping executives in your team, your employees, your suppliers, your customers, everyone in the loop with a suite of different products. That includes maybe the mobile app, the newsletter branded, tailored to feature the latest update, your most important news that goes onto your company website and of your choosing. And of course, this brings us in making sure like everyone is aligned internally and externally. And finally, this brings us to the most focal point of transformation process, namely decision making. Now, it's quite an intuitive assumption to think that the more data that you give your executives, the better their decision making. But in the case of you thought you needed more studies to support what is pretty obvious assertion across the different studies that we have read actually. A study found that when executives are not presented with ample data or evidence, they rely on their gut feeling, on their risk-taking characteristics to inform their choices, which can be very risky for the different organizations. To make sure it's like you need to invest in a certain tool to help you in making a more executive decisions. And make sure it's like you have the right tools to inform a business informed decision using all the different data types that we have discussed earlier. Nearly half of the CEOs over here, we can increase their digital investments by 10% post-pandemic. So if digital transformation has been a buzzword, then perhaps right now it's worthwhile a second look and make sure it's like you're really investing your time and your effort and your ROI. And with that said, I would like to really thank you for all your time and you taking the time to listen to my presentation with Zubair Timol, our VP. And if you have any questions, please feel free to visit our booth and ask us any questions. If you want more insights about the digital transformation, please download our ebook and get more insights about how can Meltwater support you on your new journey going into 2022. Thanks a lot for your time and have a good day.
Thank you so much, Laila and Zubair. It was a really an insightful and empowering session. And it is vital today to keep up upgrading customer experiences. And now we know exactly how to do that, thanks to you both.
I appreciate that, Aziza. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.